very good afternoon. Much thanks for joining us here on the program. The hashtag is trending news. I am Nelima, and do stay with me for the next few minutes as I bring you up to speed with stories that are making headlines at this hour. And remember, you can engage with us across all our social media platforms at Lookuptv on Twitter, Lookuptv on Facebook, and Lookuptv on our official YouTube channel. And let's begin. The Amref International University is currently launching the 2022 to 2027 strategic plan that will see the university being placed as a Pan-African university focused on developing purpose, health workforce and research for Africa. Let's now cross over for that live event.
Quality, of course. When you show your certificate from Amref International University, we want people to believe that it was quality training. Now, some of the things that we uphold highly include what we are calling our cornerstones for success, include a satisfying student experience. Now remember, students are wholesome people. They're not just people who, you know, they say that work without play is what? Makes Tom a dull boy. So we don't want to produce dull boys and dull girls. We want to produce a well-rounded person. I think you will have opportunity to see some of their presentations here. They were to do it earlier, but because of change in program, you will see that later. They are growing into a comprehensive person in all aspects of life. And that is very important if you are going to be a change agent. You have to be someone who is mature in all ways. And that is very important for us. And our staff, global in nature and motivated and focused in the work that we want to do, and functioning systems, as I've said already. Local and regional global recognition of the courses we do, very important. So working with regulators to have our courses accredited across the board, very important for us. So that the certificates that our students get, whenever they go, they are seen as important. And of course, financial resources that I can talk more about briefly. Our model of financing, we are a social enterprise.
And those are live pictures from the Amref International University. And of course, that event, our reporter Lisa Minor is right there. She'll be giving us a detailed report of the 2022 to 2027 strategic framework later on in our bulletins at 6:30 and 8 p.m. Moving on, the hearing of petitions seeking to remove from office 4 commissioners of the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission has entered day 2. 2 petitioners, Geoffrey Langat and Jerry Owuor, have asked the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee of the National Assembly to find that IEBC Vice Chair Juliana Cherera and Commissioners Irene Masit, Francis Wanderi and Justice Nyang'aya are incompetent to hold office as commissioners. They consequently want a tribunal constituted for their removal from office. Our reporter Henry Tende will be following up on this story and will be giving us a comprehensive report in our subsequent bulletins. And let's move on. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has called on Kenyans to complement the government's efforts in dealing with drought in the country by donating to save citizens who are facing starvation. Gachagua spoke on Friday while commissioning the National Steering Committee of Drought Response.
The President has established the steering committee to provide a framework for mobilization of additional resources following increased public interest in scaling up of drought response to meet the needs of fellow citizens affected by the drought. This team's effort will therefore be only as good as our willingness to lend a helping hand. Now, more than ever before, we need to rekindle our spirit of Harambee and be our brothers and sisters keepers. We owe to Kenyans of goodwill to contribute a percentage of their salaries to pay to a pay bill number that will be established soon by this committee. Already, our men and women in the Kenya Defense Forces have offered to forego 1 day's salary to contribute to the response kit. The National Youth Service has followed suit. We appeal to Kenyans in food surplus counties to make their contributions through the offices of governors and respective county commissioners. The governors and county commissioners will work with the task force to be unveiled today and will coordinate the transfer of food to Kenyans suffering in deficit areas. In addition, we sent out a request to the media to make a financial or in-kind contribution in terms of airtime and newspaper space to popularize this appeal.
The drought watch is also a story that we're keeping an eye on, so stay tuned for that detailed report. Moving on to the Nyanza region, over 5,900 Kisii County employees will undergo a verification process of the authenticity of their academic certificates, as directed earlier by the County Governor Simba Arati. The exercise is aimed at ascertaining staff establishment and getting rid of ghost workers. Speaking at Kisii Agricultural Training College in Kisii, Arati noted that no one will be spared in the purge, saying his administration would ensure staff who had been fleecing the public of its funds are arrested and arraigned in court.
I know it will not be easy. I've asked and I put into the supplementary monies to verify certificates from NEC, the correct grades or results which people got, because we know many of our people, many of the employees of the county must have gotten certificates. Even some of them joined the university using fake what? Certificates, Form 4 certificates. Therefore, that's the time the rubber will be meeting the road. And I can assure you, I'm happy. My team is here, the members of the county assembly. After that, we'll be paying directly money to NEC. They accepted to have it at a half price because it's government to government.
And former Mumias Sugar employees have protested plans to evict them from their homes inside the company's premises. They claim that they were never given a notice letter to vacate or enough reasons to vacate, stating they have lived there for a long time.
I wish to bring to the knowledge of the public that today, as we stand here as former workers, Mumias has a person calling himself an investor who is doing business there, and who had promised us earlier that he was going to pay our arrears. Up to this time, we have not been paid our savings and our arrears, and really we are going through a lot of suffering. There is a plan that Reyes had want to evict the workers from the company premises where he found them housed. These workers are waiting for their arrears, we are waiting for their savings. If he can give the money today, these workers will leave that place as early as yesterday. So we want to ask him, wherever he is, Governor, please, we were asking for your intervention in the matter. We have brought our memorandum to you for your intervention. And what we want you to do is that you find out what is happening in Mumias. Because what is happening in Mumias is private, and even if you promise to go there today, this man will clean the place, will prepare the place so that when you come in, what you see is not the real thing that happens when you are not there.
And the Norway government, together with other like-minded partners, will carry out soil mapping in Africa. Through the Global Fertilizer Challenge, the Norway Minister, Wenche Westberg, say that they are looking to reduce emissions produced by fertilizer through new management.
This is called, it's a new initiative where Norway takes part along with other nations. It's called the Global Fertilizer Challenge. We know that the situation on fertilizers is quite critical because of the energy prices, because you need gas to produce fertilizer. At the same time, we know that fertilizers, it produces emissions, which we want to reduce, but we need fertilizers to produce food. So we need to develop new management of fertilizers, simply use it in a smarter way.
I do think that we are learning from each other. for instance, here at ILRI, there's so much research being done, so many competent people that are finding new ways, new techniques, new technologies, so that we can optimize the way we do farming, especially, I guess, specializing on farming like here in Kenya and in this region. But when we do the linkages between the Norwegian know-how and the Kenyan know-how, I'm sure that there's a lot of good that can come out of that cooperation.
We are now going to partner with the one CGR through ILRI, that they will be able to support the government to map the entire country and know the type of soils that we have. Once we have that information about our soils, all that will be stored in a database which will be shared to the farmers when they want to start planting. Which crop do they want to plant? They need to interrogate that information and say, if I'm planting sunflower, then what type of fertilizer do I need to use? So all this, the farmer will be able to know when they go to the agrovet, they are able to buy the right fertilizer to use for the right kind of crops. It is through research, it's through soil mapping that we're able to know. Without that, it will be very difficult.
Moving on, environmental conservationists in Western Gishu County have urged residents to plant more trees to increase tree coverage across the county to avert climate change. At the tree planting exercise at Kapsaret Forest, the conservationists say the tree coverage is not the expected percentage, urging the residents to preserve the trees they have on their farms as they continue planting more trees to increase tree cover.
Miruka from AAR Healthcare Kenya. We take pride and the opportunity to have all of you here. We have a program that runs within our scheme of operation. We call T4H, Trees for Health. We are a healthcare organization that prides itself in preventive care and curative care. We just don't treat patients, but we also have a program that is robust, supported with our management, planting trees for every patient we see every year. We have a target of almost 1 million trees that we have to plant, and the Eldoret chapter has come at the right time. It could not have come at a better time, and we want to also appreciate the Kenya Forest who have given us the opportunity to come and plant these trees. And one of the things we want to say, how do we put it back to the society and every community to appreciate that health starts with us?
Nowadays we embrace tree growing, not tree planting, because we have to plant trees and make sure those trees get established and then grows to its intended course. In Western Gishu, we have a very good tree cover. It's almost 10.2. But you know there is difference between tree cover and forest cover. Forest cover is a bit low, but we are trying to increase its percentage by the year 2030.
Tumemaliza miti Kenya. Let us be realistic. Tumekata miti, tumechoma makaa, tumeuza mbao. Nchi yetu inaendelea kuwa jangwa. It's a real concern. Na hata nyinyi watu wa media mtusaidie. Juzi muliona miti inabebwa baobab trees kutoka Kilifi. Inaenda kwenye inaenda hatujui. Kwenye inapelekwa hatujui. Na wananunua miti yetu. Na kusema kweli, hiyo miti kama haingekuwa na manufaa kwenye inaenda, hawangekuja kubeba.
And on a far note, at the coast region, more than 30,000 visitors, both locals and foreigners, from today as the annual 20th Lamu Cultural Festival kicks off. The annual festival, which showcases the rich ancient cultural heritage of Lamu, also plays a major role in promoting tourism and businesses among the locals. Lamu Governor Issa Timami has noted that preparations for the festival are complete and they have already begun receiving visitors and dignitaries from all corners of the world.
Nichukue hii fursa kuwakaribisha wageni wote ambao wamekuja hapa Lamu kuja kujumuika na sisi katika hii Lamu Cultural Festival. Sisi tunaona tutakuwa na wageni karibu 30,000 Hii Lamu yenyewe population yake ni karibu 30,000. Kwa hivyo tunaona tuta double hiyo namba. Tayari kutoka jana, hata kabla festival haijaanza, mji ulikuwa umejaa. Na sasa hii hata kupata accommodation imekuwa ni challenge. Kwa hivyo tumejiandaa na kwa ushirikiano na viongozi wote wa kaunti. Hii kaunti ni yetu sote na ni pride yetu. Lamu inajulikana kwa mambo ya utalii.
And we've come to the end of trending news, but just to bring you up to speed on stories that we are following up for later bulletins. Of course, the feat of the IEBC commissioners and the hearing has entered day 2. Our reporter Henry Tende is on that front and is following the proceedings and will be giving us a detailed report at 6:30. Lookuptv Refer and Lookup News at 8 p.m. As well, the drought mitigation, where Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has flagged off food relief, and he did say something very interesting, that he's appealed to Kenyans to donate their salary in helping other Kenyans access food. And so it will be interesting just to see how that turns out, and your reaction as well at Lookuptv on Twitter, Lookuptv on Facebook, and Lookuptv on our YouTube channel. Do keep it Lookuptv for other programming, and of course keep it right here for our subsequent bulletins. I am Nancy Nelima. Thank you for watching.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College is focused on being the leading technical and vocational training institute in the region. Our team possesses in-depth knowledge and extensive experience in the industry, offering thorough training in cosmetology, hairdressing, interior design, creative arts, training of trainers, nail technology, and fashion design. With branches in Nairobi, Thika, Meru, Eldoret, and now in Mombasa, our courses ensure that learners are completely equipped with knowledge, competence,